So Christina and I have worked on a big project, and we've totally revamped and relaunched our website, which is possibly a bigger job than it sounds. It looks a lot different, which is good, but all of the content is new as well. So it's a lot of really useful stuff that we put together to assist you, make everybody's lives easier, and we think we've done a good job. So I'm going to give you a bit of a run through on how it works and where you can find things. So this is what the landing page looks like now. Excitingly, we have a competition running where owners or anybody could win an iPad mini. So all you need to do is have a look at the website before tomorrow, Friday, and then give us your feedback or comments, and then we'll choose a winner based on the quality of those comments, and then that winner will receive an iPad. So it's pretty easy. I like competitions where you don't really have to do very much at all. So at the top of the screen there are the links to the content, and most of them are pretty self-explanatory. The one I'll talk about is the resource center. So that's where we've stored all of the information. And then down the bottom of the page are the quick links. So that's things that people need quickly and frequently. And there's a lot of stuff there that you can use to sort of self-serve, so you don't need to email us and wait a couple of days for us to get back to you. So there's online forms, which I'll talk about as well. So this is what the resource center looks like. So we've gone through and categorized a lot of the information that we get. So we have a lot of knowledge. It's difficult for us to get that out to you, and we don't want to send you like a 50-page document that's all tabbed and indexed. So we've done that on the website. There's online forms up there, and then just information about body corporate, and that information relates to any body corporate. So even if it's not a scheme that's with capital yet, if you're talking to an owner or a committee member or somebody who's interested in intent and wants to understand what's going on, you can send them to the website. The information is detailed but sort of generic. So introduction to body corporate, the committee, then there's information about levies, maintenance, insurance, the bylaws, our sort of guidance on dispute resolution. There is links to the fact sheets and legislation, so that's the framework in which we work. Codes of conduct for committee members, body corporate managers, and resident unit managers. Owner online training, so all of these delightful videos get put up online to embarrass us, and you can watch those at your leisure. And then events, so things like today. So inside those categories, we've drilled down further. So this is what the committee category looks like, and we've worded them in the format of the questions. So a lot of those questions are probably questions you've asked before when you were new to the game, or you might have people ask of you. And that's sort of where we really want your feedback as well. So those are questions that Christina and I and other managers have had regularly. If you've got other questions and they're not answered there, send them through to us and we'll answer them and put them up. So we're hoping to really build a library that helps you out. And it also, rather than you having a 30-minute discussion with another owner in your complex about who does what, or what the levies are for, you can sort of sit down and have a read through this or direct them here, and it should make everyone's lives a bit easier. And then, you click on those tabs and it pops down all of the information that we've given you, and we will link to relevant sections. So in the committee, obviously the committee is bound by a code of conduct, so we link you to that section and you can read on. So it's a really good way to explore and to learn a lot. Next page is online forms. So a lot of what we do is fairly standard. A lot of it is very specific to each body corporate, but a lot of it is record keeping and processing things, and that takes a lot of time, and it's really detailed. So we've put a whole lot of forms on the website. There were some forms on the old website, but we've got a lot more now, and they're a lot more specific. And so using these forms rather than just contacting us directly will mean that we get the information that we need to process your request. So you can read them up there. Contact details is pretty easy. Disclosure statement and information certificates are important if you're selling the property. Then we've got certificate of currency. So often people will need that ASAP if they're refinancing. The lender says, give me a copy of your insurance, and you may not have that, to hand immediately, so you can request it on the website. And then things like pet request, air conditioning request, general improvements if you want to put up a pergola or shade sails, whatever you want. And those forms will I'll just tell you about the rest. So we've got an insurance claim form which the insurance team will love to receive because it gives them the information they need. Reimbursement request: if you spend money and the body corporate really should have spent that money, you can request to be reimbursed. So if you've been buying light bulbs and putting them in the common property lights, for example. A completed improvement notification. So if you renovate your lot, you need to notify the body corporate that you've improved it, and that's really for the purpose of insurance. So if you're in a 70s building and most of them are original, and then you go and spend, $300,000 internally refitting your unit, that needs to be reflected in your insurance cover, and we need to know about it. So that's when you would notify us that you've made an improvement. And then the last online form is the owner login request. So I'll tell you a little bit about that in a minute. This is an example of one of the forms, the air conditioning request form. So I get a lot of emails that say, "Hi Matthew, I'd like an air conditioner. Can you arrange? Thanks." And that's good. It's a good first starting point, but we need a lot more information. So if I then have to go back to the person and ask them, for more specifics, then they have to come back to me, and it's sort of, it's a week before we actually get anywhere. So if you use the form online, it will guide you through what you need to give to us. So obviously your details are pretty easy. It then will go on to ask you, where you want the air conditioning to be installed. So what's the location of the unit inside? Where are you going to put the condenser outside? How are you going to power it? How are you going to drain it? Does it comply with council noise requirements? Is there any sort of planning around it? Like if it's on the front of a new complex, there may be council regulations about having to screen it. So all of that information is sort of provided to you, and it triggers you to think, I might need to give them a bit more. And the committee will just come back and ask for that anyway. If we submit a very basic committee approval request, they'll often request more information. So using the form will make sure that we get the information that we need. Okay, so that's forms. The next page is the contact us or about us or our team page. And you can see our lovely photos up there. So we were all super excited to have a photo shoot. Everybody loves having their photo taken really early in the morning, especially on a white background and like in a big circle like that. It's just your face. It's fantastic. So all those are up there. A lot of people don't know our names, which we're not offended by. So if you recognise a face, you can click on it. We give you our direct contact information. So that's a point of difference that we're really proud of. A lot of firms you have to ring through the main line and they'll transfer you to an assistant or to somebody else. But you see Josephine up there, she's a director of the company. If you want to call her, that's her phone number, her direct line, her email address, and a bit about us and our qualifications and expertise. So that's a really great way of getting to know your community relationship manager better. We have cards. I don't carry them all with me because they're heavy and they're rectangular and they don't fit in my pocket. So that's a really great way of letting people in your complex know who to contact, because a lot of times we deal with the committee. So we deal with those 7 people in the building, and there might be 40 other owners who really don't have much to do with us, and so when they want information, they really don't know who to turn to. So that's when you can give this out to them and educate the people you're with. And the last slide is the owner login. So this is a system that links to a website called Stratamax. Has everybody been to Stratamax and had a look around? No? It's a really useful tool. So what we do is we upload important documents to that portal, and it links through to our system we use to manage all of US clients. You log in, you can access all of your details, you can access levy payments, you can see what your balance is and make payment on the website. You can access your community management statement, which gives you your plans and bylaws, and often you'll need to give those to a property manager or to a tenant directly, or if you're selling, you might need that as part of your disclosure requirement. We put all our building reports on there, so insurance valuations, sinking fund audit reports, safety reports, fire reports, asbestos, termites, everything goes up there. Also meeting minutes, so all of the minutes of general meetings and committee meetings go up online. So and insurance as well goes up there. So that's something that you can do by yourself, and you don't need to contact us to get what you want. And often people will write to me saying, can you send me the last meeting minutes? And so I do. And then they come back and say, well, actually I wanted the meeting minutes before that. Can you send me those ones? And that's kind of like a 3-day process in a lot of cases, because they take time to get back to us and we take time to get back to them. So here you can go and have a look. You can get things emailed to you. You can print them out. It's really good. Excuse me. And something else I'll just mention is go there now. If you don't have your login details, the site will sort of prompt you to find them. You used to log in with your Strata Max or Strata Pay reference number. So on your levy statement, there will be a number, and that would be your login. And they've recently upgraded the site so that you can now use your email address. So you'll still have to log in once using that levy statement information. So get out your levy statement, it'll have the number on there. Then you log in and set up an account using your email. And if you own multiple lots in Bodies Corporate, you can link them together. So you can log in once and see the different tabs for your different lots. And so you can get information for all of them from the same login. Good. That's about it. Do we have any questions?